And speaking of processors, you have the Muse.
I do. It is amazing.
Is it really amazing? All right, let's say we're gonna put say I don't know if you heard the Denon 8500. It's like
I've not
how
heard
how,
the
mu-
8500, but I ran the 4400 for a long time.
how much is the Muse by the way? It's like 5 grand,
5500.
5500. Okay.
Yeah, 55.
So it falls in
5,500 bills.
so it falls in the category of a Marantz 8805.
Doesn't, yeah, I've never owned a Marantz before, so I don't, never, never looked at those prices very closely.
Well, I'm sure it sounds better than that. Have you owned an Anthem?
I have not. I've not. I've owned Onkyo, and this thing
Okay.
destroys it. I've owned
Yeah.
Denon, or Denon, or however you say
Denon.
it. Yeah, and this
Did you say
destroyed.
Denon? Did you say
Yeah,
Denon? Okay.
yeah. Dude, when I was growing up, so I grew up in Alabama, y'all, and down there it's Denon. You get you a Denon receiver.
All
That's what
right.
it is.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
however you say that word. And this is better. This is better. And
It's
Marantz,
better.
yeah, I think this probably is better than Marantz too. Unless you can hear a significant difference between Marantz and Denon. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you?
I mean, I can. I don't know if you can, but yeah, I can.
I don't know. But
I'm
this,
more of a
yeah,
I'm more of a Denon fan than I am a Morantz fan, personally.
I lean that way too. Although I don't know that my opinion is based in any fact other than I just chose to buy the Denon instead of the Marantz. That might have just been cost. But so here's a anecdotal story that ultimately doesn't really mean anything. But when I installed the Muse, right, and so I had the 4400H in there, pull that guy out, install the Muse, and this is before I added any channels, anything, same amplification, the whole deal, and I brought my kids in. Superlative ears, perfect audiophiles, 11 years old, 8 years old. They can hear up to like 16, 18K. I mean, they got it going on.
Yeah.
And we watched a movie that we had watched before, and it was a cartoon. I can't remember what it is at this point. And when we sat down and we were watching, they said, "Daddy, what did you do?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, what?" Because I thought they were going to say this is bad, right? They're like, "Daddy, it's better." I'm like, "What do you mean it's better?" They're like, "Oh, it looks good and it sounds better too, Daddy. It sounds better." I'm like, "How does it sound better?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just better." So take that for whatever it's worth, which is probably nothing. But that was my external validation to the Muse. So I was like, okay, yeah, I got the thumbs up from the 8-year-old and the 11-year-old. So they're down.
Are
They're
you
now Acurus fans.
did you do the PQ on that, or did they give you like a beta version of their room correction?
No, so I've been talking to them, and my goal is to get my hands on the Aspect system, which is ASPEQT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And try that out. So today though, the Muse is completely manual as far as room correction, speaker
Yeah.
correction, however you want to think about it. It'll do all those tricks, but it's not automated. Now, the Aspect system, it's going to be a multi-microphone auto room correction system that is supposed to be as good or better than Dirac or any of the other top end stuff. I'd like to see how it stacks up against Storm and Trinov and all those guys. I don't know.
Whoa.
So Muse is 16 channel, right? So
Yeah.
so it's a different kind of architecture than what you're looking at with Trinov. For so you have to choose a product that fits your goals, right? If you want to do 32 channels, then Muse is not the right thing for you, right? It's just not the right tool, right? You're going to need to look at a Trinov to do that. If you're doing 16 channels, I would strongly look at the Muse, right? Especially with Aspect, and when that's available, that's I don't know of anything else that you would need outside of that. It sounds wonderful. It's a great product. It's probably the best looking processor out there. Not that matters, but it's awesome from that point of view. It integrates with just about every control system that's available. Super awesome. I took that picture, by the way, both those pictures. So that's my photograph, not that one, the one from before, the two before.
Okay.
Yeah. They ripped it off and they're like, oh, we probably should have asked you before we put that on our webpage. They're like, but it looks so good. We put it up there. That's yeah. So you can see my my sofa and then my windows and my curtains back there. That's
You're
my coffee table.
you're a
That's
star.
yeah. No, so those are my only two professional photographs used anywhere. But getting back to what I was saying, uh, if you're looking for a processor for your room, you gotta know what your goals are, and then pick a piece of equipment that does what you need it to in your price range. That's the best piece of gear that you can get, and for the money. And I hate that term, but at the $5,500 price range for a 16 channel processor that sounds this good, and it's only 2 rack units tall. If that matters to you, it's doesn't take a lot of space. It's small. I like it a lot. The big hole in the feature set is auto room correction, and that should be cleared up here pretty soon.
I moved over to the Bowers Wilkins, and then yeah.
You got stuck up. You know, like I'm conceited with my Bowers and Wilkins.
Listen, there's some good parts about the Rentals that I do kind of miss, and there's some good stuff about the B&Ws. So it's
B&W is
give and
good.
take.
Come on, it's good stuff. I like it.
They're good stuff. Yeah, I mean,
You're rocking the 800 series, is that right?
what am I fucking rich? No, they're the these are their theater series speakers. So they're
Oh, the ones that are really expensive.
no, they're not. Are they expensive? No, they're
They're way
not that
more
expensive.
than the 600s and stuff. Yeah, they're like $9,000 per unit, right?
Come on, bro. I'm not that rich, right? They're only they're $1,200 a speaker. Okay,
Oh, okay.
I've got 11 of them. Okay, so they're exactly the same. They're these little bookshelf speakers.
Yeah. So are you rocking 11 bed channels?
No, 7, 7, and 4.
Okay, 714 or 7
Yeah.
whatever 4. Yeah.
And there's a definite difference. There's a definite difference once you go to exact same speakers in every location, rather than having matching drivers.
Sure.
So,
That's
which
next
I'll
level.
touch.
Next level.
Yeah,
man.
I'll touch upon that. No, yeah, that's why I went with it. I mean, I know a lot of people like to have like tower speakers and all that, which is cool.
Mhm.
But I think if you're gonna do home theater proper, like this shit's got to be all the same. It just has to be all the same. Like if you want to be the most cohesive sound stage ever, the less work that your room correction has to do, your speakers have got to be the same, not just the same drivers, but the same exact speakers. It just sounds better, and especially when you watch the graphs, when you take the measurements, and they almost look exactly the same, like minus like the room modes and all that. Best way to do it. Best way to do it. Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you look at Pro Cinema,
Yeah.
you know that's that's what they're rocking, that kind of stuff.
hmm
Yeah. You know, I dipped my toes into that water with the Alcon folks, and the Alcons is, yeah, they got that philosophy. Oh, my buddy Jeremy, he's got the same philosophy as you do, and he does the YouTube, not YouTube, but podcast for the 1 minute Jaws. Are you familiar with that format where they review 1 minute of a movie and then they work through the whole movie with a series of podcasts? And if the movie is 120 minutes long, it's like 120 episodes to talk about the show.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
So they did that for Jaws, and they're moving on to some other stuff now. But he's got the same kind of philosophy as you. But he's all about doing that, but like with powered speakers all the way around, Genelec stuff and things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought about the
I like
Genelec
his
stuff
point
too.
of view.
Yeah.
I like his point of view a lot.
I thought about the LS50s all around. That would have been cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
How low can the LS50 play? Can it make it down to 50 hertz?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's got to be like 50 hertz. I
Yeah,
think so.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, so you can cross it
Yeah.
over to 80s like normal. Yeah,
Mhm.
that wouldn't be bad. Just
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got enough dynamic range.
You don't think so? Have you heard the LS50s? They're
Yeah, I've heard 'em.
fucking awesome sound. They're awesome sounding speakers.
Yeah, they're good. I like
I
the KEF.
I always feel like if your speakers can go down to like 40, 50, then listen, you got to cross them at like 40, 50 instead of just doing the 80 because there's a difference if you there's a difference when especially in your center channel if you're just cutting them off at 80 and then you go back and you cut them off at 40, 50. There's a huge difference. Very huge.
No, I've got people that say the same thing, and I've got some folks that are like, "Oh, I just run full range," right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it takes all kinds. I'm not gonna hate.
Yeah. No, I mean, I used to be like, listen, I always got to do like 80, but then I was just like, I'm just gonna fucking run full range or just cut them right before they start cutting off. Yeah. Then
find that roll off in the chart. That's where you cross them over right there.
Yeah, big difference. Big difference.